Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I'm back with another speed build and another installment of the Squish. And today we're going to be building a tiny house in the world of Moonwood Mill, which is the world that comes with the Werewolves game pack. And this is vaguely Werewolves inspired, but the idea really was to create a home that is in the middle of being restored or freshly built up. Either way, it could work. But I wanted to build something using Werewolves items and the new stuff from the Restoration Workshop kit. So I really hope you will enjoy how this build comes out. If you do and you'd like to download it, it will be available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You could also find it under the hashtag Gryphi, and that information will be in the description down below as well. Also, The Sims is having another big sale on the EA app, and I really don't want you to miss out. From now until May 15th, you can score packs for much lower prices. Tons of expansion packs are 50% off, like Growing Together, Horse Ranch, For Rent, Lovestruck, and tons more. And Life and Death is even on sale for 38% off. Plus, there's discounts on game packs and stuff packs as well. And if you do decide to pick something up, please consider using my creator code Gryphi at checkout. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help to support me as a creator through a small commission on your purchase. So thank you so much for considering, and thanks to EA for sponsoring this portion of the video. So the shape is starting to come together now, and I'm actually really proud of this one. I really didn't know how it was going to turn out, because I didn't have a very strong shape in mind when I started working on this. I was just kind of fiddling around and playing around with various items. I thought the doors and windows with the screens in them from the Greenhouse Haven kit would be kind of fun here, especially because at first I was really focusing on the idea of a werewolf being here, and I thought the fresh air would be nice, and just kind of having the indoor-outdoor vibe of having the screened in windows instead of pure glass. And then I'm picking out a roof from Werewolves, and when it comes to the wallpaper, I actually end up using some of the new wallpaper from the Restoration Workshop kit on the exterior. I normally think of that as an interior wallpaper for when you're freshly putting up drywall, but I loved the idea of this house being a work in progress, like somebody is currently living here, but also fixing it up at the same time. So I end up putting like a woodworking table outside and a recycling machine and just like materials everywhere, and parts of the house are finished. Some have some furniture in them. Some are obviously like temporary furniture as the sim is living here and fixing up the space. And I just thought it was a really fun idea. It could definitely be for a werewolf, but I feel like any sim could live here, and some of the furniture choices are a little bit colorful or more run down because I didn't want to put nice stuff in here as it's a work in progress. But I would love to see what y'all do with this if you decide to renovate it, or if you'd like to see me renovate it and put it together and have it a little bit more modern and fixed up, because I really like the shape of this one, and I think that could be kind of a fun video idea. So let me know if that's something you would like to see. Anyway, the floor plan came together really quickly here. There's just a bedroom in the back, and then over on the right side I have the bathroom, and it's a 5-tile bathroom, which is a little bit bigger than I typically do for a tiny house. It's actually almost the size I do for like a regular house, so I was quite happy with that. I believe this is a tier 2 tiny home, so it's not a micro home, but it's not a small home. I believe it's actually a tiny home by definition. And I added some wood paneling on the outside and also some of this brick from the Werewolves pack just to add some texture to the chimney. And yeah, I really like the combination here. Obviously, it doesn't look finished, but that was kind of the point. And then I'm starting to work on some of the landscaping. I used a lot of greenery from Debug or Show Live Edit objects that came with Werewolves. I love the plants that I put in the corner by the front door. And then I used some of these rocks to sort of make a semicircle kind of right behind the house. I'm going to move them here, and it just helps to sort of anchor the lot, since this is a tiny house on a fairly large lot. Since whenever I build in this world, I always build on the smallest lot, so I decided to change it up today. And we are on the Prowler's patch. And then I'm grabbing some trees, and these ones are also from Show Live Edit objects, but I'm pretty sure they're from Snowy Escape. I just really like the texture on them. I decided to have some logs on the ground, like things that were cut down to work on this house. And you'll see I end up having all sorts of different like planks of wood around. I have the piece of furniture that has all the different cut wood in it as well that came with the Restoration Workshop kit, but also lots of debug stuff, plus a pallet. And I will be getting the woodworking bench as well, so your Sims can actually craft furniture for this house. That would actually be kind of interesting if maybe you only decorated this home with items you crafted in one way or another. That could be really cool. I like the idea of that one. But yeah, just going through a lot of the items from Werewolves, I got some like gears and wheels with puddles that I'm pulling out, some various plants. There's also this bench, which I think might be from Cottage Living. It might be Werewolves. I think it is Werewolves. That has like some mushrooms on it that your Sims can actually sit on. I love the bonfire I placed down. I also grabbed this rug, which is going to change colors a little bit later. And then I thought it would be kind of fun to have the bubble blower out here. That is from City Living, and it's not an item I use very often, but I thought it was a fun activity. and something relaxing your Sims can do while they're not working on the house. So I do end up putting that out here, and I'm just scaling that rug to be a little bit bigger, but then I'm going to get rid of it and make it smaller, and it's going to be more like a welcome mat in front of the house. But yeah, just moving stuff around and trying to figure out the best way to lay everything out so that it looks messy, but also kind of intentional and has all of the items that I was hoping to achieve on the exterior of this house to tell the story of somebody living here while they are working on it and fixing it up. Whether they're planning to live here permanently or they're going to sell it afterwards, I'm not sure. But I liked the storyline of somebody that is currently renovating this house to be living here or building it from scratch. Like I said, either of them work. I just thought it was a really fun idea. And I got to use some werewolves items I don't typically use, like that barrel out front that has some of the flowers in it. And then I am getting a variety of greenery around the lot. I'm using a lot of the same grass that I saw in the background of this world to make it feel like it blends in quite nicely. And then I picked out these really pretty yellow flowers, and those are just all over the lot. They end up going through a lot of items so that it's not like they stop where the palette is. So I will be adding some more through that a little bit later. And then I also got this base game planter. It's also from Show Live to Objects. It's just got some white flowers in it, and I thought it would look nice here. Another item that kind of looks like it might have been crafted by the Sim. And same thing with the flower planters out front that your Sims can actually do some gardening in. The ones I chose are from Werewolves, and they look a little bit more rustic, like something you could possibly craft. But I think there is actually a craftable version that is smaller, and I want to say that came with Outdoor Retreat, but I might be wrong on that. Anyway, here is the woodworking bench and some other decorations, all from the Restoration Workshop kit. I tried to pick some of the swatches that were a little bit dirtier, so the Sim is actively using this space. And I actually used some of the new like dirt carpets underneath a couple of items out here to add some more texture to the ground, in addition to some terrain paint. So there is one under the bonfire, and there's also going to be one under a broken down car I'm going to be placing a little bit later, but I did get lots of tools over here, and I used one of these chairs from Eco Lifestyle. I actually ended up using another one as well, the one that's more upholstered, and I just thought it'd be nice to have a chair to sit in when you're over there working. And then I have a few different things at the bubble blower, including the new bucket chair, which is just like an upside down bucket your Sims can sit on. And I also decided to add a couple of solar panels and a wind turbine to the top of this house. So that way maybe you can get some benefits from like some solar and wind energy with Eco Lifestyle if you'd like. I wasn't fully imagining this house was off the grid, but I thought it could definitely benefit from some of that. And you could probably make it off the grid if you wanted to. But yeah, just adding some more terrain paint here. And then I think we should be heading inside soon after I get a little bit more greenery wrapping around this area, because it felt like it just suddenly wasn't there anymore. And I had to add a cone somewhere here. I love adding are they called traffic cones? I think they are. I think they just like look fun on these sorts of lots that are a little bit messier and have lots of items around. So there's the broken down car. I also have a bike here, and the bike is functional. It's one that I grabbed from Businesses and Hobbies. And then just putting some more grass and flowers through the car, and I should be doing the same thing under the pallet as well. And I'm using another one of those dirt stains I had mentioned earlier under this car. I think it looks so cool. I really like that item. The first couple of swatches are sawdust, but there's some like dirt and like water spots. I guess you could probably use them as mold, but there's a variety of ways you could use that. And I always love the things that help our games look a little bit more grungy. I feel like that's a style that I just really enjoy in The Sims. And then I added a trash can outside. And of course, since I was heavily focusing on the Restoration Workshop kit, I wanted to use the new appliances. I thought while they're building up this house, they also got a good deal on some really cool like retro appliances. And they were like, I'm going to fix these up and use them in the house. So they don't work right now. They are the dirty versions, but I thought it would be really fun to include those. So I have the fridge, the stove, and the microwave, which I'll be adding here shortly. And I paired it with the base game industrial counters, and then I'm just bringing in that like new drywall texture to the inside. And I also bring in a little bit of the brick as well. And I just think it looks so cool. I was really happy with this. It's different than things I've done before, and it's actually making me want to build like a whole house that's like in the process of being built. I think that could be really fun at some point. But right now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to use these shelving units. And I decided they could kind of work as a TV unit, maybe like something that we could build into the wall over there for entertainment in the space. I really liked that. And then I just grabbed a random table that I thought fit the aesthetic of the place that wasn't fully put together yet. And I put some plastic chairs there as like a temporary dining space for the Sim to use while they're working on the house. And lots of exposed light bulbs. This single light bulb is from Laundry Day, and it's a really useful item. I like things like that are super simple and are just like everyday items that you don't get a lot of in The Sims. I feel like everything's super stylized and supposed to be a certain way. And so having the basic wallpaper and that light bulb just feels so nice to have. So anyway, this is the bedroom, the simplest of the rooms. I just have a like air mattress on the floor with a side table that has like 2 items on it. And then I put a dresser in here as well. And the dresser or wardrobe is from the Industrial Loft Kit. It just really matched the style I was going for and I really liked it. I'll probably keep this place industrial if I do decide to renovate it, but I'm not sure. I would love to hear your feedback on that because I kind of have talked myself into wanting to renovate it and turn it into a more modern house. I think that would be so fun. So yeah, the bathroom is bare bones. I have an old sink in here. We have the shower fixture, but nothing else. And then I technically put a prison toilet in there, but I was thinking it was just like a temporary toilet until they get the final one. Especially if the sim decides to sell the house afterwards, it would be nice to put in a fresh toilet, but have one that's functional here hooked up to plumbing while they're living here. And then just grabbing a trash can and a few more decorations. I end up having the toolbox over here and some boxes up on the shelves, but not too much in this space because I didn't want it to look like there was a ton of clutter here. I really wanted it to look like it was a work in progress. But that's pretty much it for this build. I'm just going to be finishing up some more landscaping outside and getting the finishing touches. So I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more and click that bell to be notified when I upload. And a massive thank you to my YouTube members for all of your support. If you'd like to become a member yourself and get early access to pictures and occasional videos, make sure you click that join button below the video or the link in the description. Enjoy the screenshots and I will see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.